It's probably live right now. So let me just click out of this to the Zoom page. So there we go. It says we're live. All right. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Welcome to another week. So awesome that you guys. It's November?
It's November.
Wow. Birds freezing here.
I think the wind blew slightly cooler.
We had a little breeze in Florida, a little, was that Saturday?
Yeah.
It was Saturday.
Yeah.
We left out, we did a little boating on the weekend, and the water and the wind was like, we're like, this is going to be incredible. And we got to where we were going to be, and this little cool front came through. It didn't get much cooler, but it brought some wind.
Crazy wind. Yeah.
But I hear it's snowing in other parts of the U.S.
We'll take
so
the wind.
She'll take the wind. She'll take the wind. I'm ready for a little cooler action, but it is hot at Team True Blue. I can tell you guys that. Just looking at some of the numbers from last month again, I'm still, I don't want to say like blown away because this team's extremely powerful, but we had over $200,000 in growth as a team last month. 240,000 to be exact, which is that we haven't had that type of growth in quite some time. We've been growing 5 straight months or 6 straight months now, but not like that. But what really blew me away is more preferred customer enrollments than any other month this year, more distributor enrollments than any other month this year. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about how to capitalize on a month like we just had, as well as some planning for the future. But welcome to November. Welcome to our weekly call. Glad you guys could join us this morning. And we've got off the top of the call here, Stacy King that's with us. She is joining us on I'll call it a day off. Of course, when we do LifeVantage, because it's such an incredible thing that we do, you can do whatever you want and still do LifeVantage stuff. So it's like, we're never off, but that's okay because LifeVantage allows us to do things that if you didn't do it, you couldn't do. Does that make sense? Like without LifeVantage, there's a lot of things we couldn't do. And for that reason, we do LifeVantage anywhere, everywhere. And so Stacy is at Universal. Is that right, Stacy?
Yep, that's right.
So she's enjoying some family time with Universal, but she was gracious enough to take some time out with us this morning. And we wanted to bring her on for it. This plays in so many different angles this morning. This week's core value is core value number 4. And that is that we are resilient, that there's lessons to be learned in every obstacle. And when we asked Stacy to come on, it wasn't because of the core value. It was because of what she had just accomplished in our incentive. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But I was like, Lynette, there may not be too many more people better suited to talk about being resilient in our team than Stacy. So you guys, if you don't know Stacy King, she is a Pro 6 out of Tampa, Florida, and one of the leaders that has this year made massive growth in their organization, stepped into leadership roles that I think even she thinks she never imagined could happen, but it's here and she's doing it. She's leading. I know you just did a road trip for your Michigan team, and I think I saw you somewhere else. So congratulations on all your success this year.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was just in Michigan and Georgia in the same week. So I just love helping my team and watching them grow. There's no greater joy than seeing other people be successful in this business. So
yeah, I thought I saw you. So it was Georgia is where you're at. And for those that don't know your story a little bit, Stacy, just give them a little snapshot of how long you've been with LifeVantage and one or two of those ranks that had you hung up for a while.
So I've been with LifeVantage almost 5 years, and I was stuck at Pro 2 for 2.5 years. And it was hard. I was discouraged. I was stuck in my head. I wasn't doing the income producing activities. I was doing everything else but I just loved what we had, and I was determined to figure it out. So anyways, I just kept pushing through, kept learning, kept growing, kept going to events. I was not gonna not figure this out. And then at some point it just clicked. I started doing the income producing activities, and I hit rank 3, I hit pro 4, I hit pro 5. And there were still some points where I got a little bit stuck, but I think I learned, man, I've got to do a lot of action. I've got to get out of my head. I've got to personally grow. I've got to stay plugged into events, stay plugged into this team. And the amount of personal growth I've seen in myself, even especially, I would say, even in the last 2 years, I feel like I'm a different person than I was a few years ago. So I just love what this company has done. But if you're kind of frustrated and things aren't happening how you think, or you feel kind of stuck, or you are wondering why this person's not responding, you just keep going. You just keep talking to people, keep going through the numbers, keep doing the right activities, and keep growing and learning and making yourself better, because the system does work. Sometimes it's us that needs to change and grow. And sometimes we just got to talk to more people. We just got to do more. I thought I was doing more, but I really wasn't. And so I've just really learned I've got to do a lot more action, and it has to come from here. It's got to come from inside, and I've got to grow.
I love that she's showing that she took responsibility at some point, because sometimes when we're in the thick of it, we're like, I'm doing all I can do. And then that shift happened that she talked about. She started doing more income producing activities. And now hindsight, she looks back and she goes, I wasn't doing what I needed to do. But when you're in the thick of it, sometimes you can't see it. So I love that you shared that, because I feel like a lot of people kind of go through that. And ultimately, it boils down to us. We have to look in the mirror and take full responsibility. And once we shoulder the load and take responsibility, things happen. So that's awesome. I love that.
So I got like just 2 questions, because you didn't learn to be resilient at LifeVantage. That's a quality that you just have in you. That's one of the core, like these core values are what leads people to success. So one of the qualities all distributors need to have is you need to be resilient, because if you haven't faced it yet, you are going to face massive frustration in this business. If you haven't done it yet, it's coming. You're going to get massively frustrated. And in those moments, you have to be resilient. So question number 1, what helped you stay resilient, Stacy?
I would say the biggest thing was plugging truth in my brain and not the lies. So whether that was truth from events, whether that was when I would work out, I would listen to Eric Worre and Brian Carruthers and different leaders on tape. I constantly had to be monitoring what was going in my brain, so that what was coming out was truth. And I stayed plugged into things, and I kept doing action. And so when I was doing action and moving the ball forward, it made a big difference. And I think I had to learn to not take things personally. When someone wouldn't respond or wouldn't message or would ghost me, it used to like hurt my feelings, and I used to it'd slow me down. I'd ride the roller coaster too much. And now I've learned, oh man, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pushing ahead. It's about them, not me. It's about meeting their need. And it may not be now, but now I've learned, man, I may get them a year or 2 down the road, but I'm not going to let them stop me. I'm just going to move on to somebody else and not stay stuck, because I rode the roller coaster of emotions. So I really had to learn to control my emotions. And honestly, I'm still learning to do that. I'm not sure if we ever stop learning and growing. So
that's awesome.
I'm still in it.
That's awesome. So first bit, guys that are watching this, if you're frustrated at this moment, right? Stacy just gave you great advice. She put the right things in your environment, your influences. So she was doing personal development. She was charging her batteries. We've talked so many times about charging your batteries. She was charging her batteries, because if more negative goes in than positive, no one wins that battle. That's a battle you will lose. If more negative is going to your brain than positive information. And some people think, oh, that's crazy talk. That's that personal development, mind over matters. That's silly. It's not silly. It's what all successful people must do. So that's first question. That was awesome. Second thing is, so that's what helped you be resilient. What is, if you could name 1 or 2 of the biggest lessons you've learned because of your resiliency? I mean, you were stuck at Pro 2 for all those years. So what's the biggest lesson that you've learned so far as a Pro 6 that you get to tell your team? Hey, this is what I went through. This is what I learned. Let me share something with you.
Oh man, that's a great question. I think probably the biggest thing that I've learned is how much you change and grow, and that it's about other people, not about you. So the more that I've taken the focus off myself and off my goals, which is not hard for me to do, I naturally love to serve and help people. But that resilience has allowed for me to think about others and think about where they're stuck and what their needs are, and even potential customers. And it's allowed me to do something I never thought I could do. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom who is now able to stay home with my kids and be at Universal because I was resilient and I didn't give up on this. And now we're talking about possibly retiring my husband in a couple of years. And so this business is giving us options and dreams that I have never thought possible. I always wanted them when I was stuck at Pro 2, but now I know I can do it. And so it's truly changing our whole life and changing our family. And in turn, it's changed me. I feel like I'm back to a leader and a servant that I always used to be. I feel like I'm becoming truly the best version of me. So this business is so much more than a business and so much more than income. It's really changed me. And when you push through something hard, you can relate to other people who are going through something hard. So there's not many things my team can say that they're going through that I haven't been through. And I can tell them they can make it, and there's another way and there's another side, and you just have to keep going. The biggest thing is to not give up. There's not a lot of tricks of, oh, if you only do this. I was used to look for those. A lot of it is just that, not giving up and keep pushing through. And if we don't give up, things can happen that you never even really dreamed could happen, and it changes you in a good way.
That's awesome. So when someone comes to you and they're frustrated and they've been stuck for 6 months, do you say, oh, don't worry, you got another year and a half to go?
Right, exactly. I mean, I look back on it now and I honestly can't believe I didn't give up. I mean, Pro 2 is a tough rank to get stuck at for that long. But I just knew what we had. I knew what we had was so big, and I knew I just couldn't do it to myself to not figure this out. And so I just hope everybody has that courage to not give up, because it's worth it. Like, I look back, I'm so glad I went through everything I went through, because it is so worth it. And you'll be able to help people better if you do get stuck. So if you go through some hard things in this business, it's really better for you as a leader, because you'll be able to serve and help your team better, because they're going to be there.
So we got a little surprise for you. Why don't you make the announcement about our incentive?
Well, it's, in alignment with income producing activities, right? We had the little contest of, if you participated and tracked the people that you gave the NAD samples to, and then posted it to the, or in the comments section of the post that I created in our team page, that you would get to participate in a call with Taylor Ward. To take it a step further, we said that the top 3, the ones who reached out to the most people during that time, would then have a private Q&A with Taylor Ward. And with that in mind, Stacy King actually led the race. I'm telling you, she had the most reach outs in that respect. And so it was kind of cool, because in talking to Stacy this morning, she was like, oh, I'm so excited that I won because, and so Stacy, share with us what you told, or share with everyone else what you told us this morning about the motivation that you had.
Well, part of my motivation was actually your incentive. I really saw NAD as a way to reach out to previous people, that either previous customers that aren't on it, previous distributors that aren't engaged, or just people that I've kind of lost touch with. But then the Taylor Worry thing, when I was in Ireland on the trip, I was on a bus ride and Taylor was standing there. And I, of course, am not going to waste a moment of having a chance to talk to Taylor. So here we are on a bus ride, and I'm just asking him questions, just getting so many gold nuggets. Like, it was amazing. So when I heard that incentive, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to have intentional questions and to be able to think through it ahead of time and just to learn. Because I know so much of this business is learning and personal development, and Taylor Worry has just a wealth of knowledge. He's been in this industry forever, and his perspective is just so interesting and unique, and he's just so wise. And so I am super excited to win it. I can't wait. I'm already going to start working on my questions, and I love to learn and grow, and I know that is just going to help me, which will in turn help my team. And that will gain so much from that. So thank you so much. I'm super excited about that. That was an amazing incentive. That was a genius idea, because just the value that my team and me will get from it. So.
Well, and I'm so glad that you're telling everybody that, because the reality is there's a couple things I'm thinking as Stacy's saying that. She's excited at the opportunity to learn more from others. When that's your mindset, when you're constantly just willing and making the most of every opportunity that you have to learn, it's those moments that you get pieces of information that fuel your business. That's why we talk about at Elite Academies, not just what you learn in session, but what you learn in walking in the halls and in the network meetings. And anytime you can have those conversations, incentive trips, we tell you guys, getting to rub elbows with people that have had such experience, there's so much to be gained. So we wanted to give you guys that opportunity to have some of that private time. But I love that Stacy shared that, because it's true. There's so much to gain, so much knowledge to take in.
So congratulations, and thank you for being on here. I'm glad that you were able to peel away for a few minutes at Universal.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy
Have a great
the rest
day.
Of your day, Stacy.
Oh, I will. Thanks.
Thank you.
So guys, that was awesome to be able to grab her this morning and have her share that. I think that was phenomenal. I'm really happy to Zoom things working out so that we're able to Zoom over to Facebook.
So I know there's like two other people waiting, going, okay, Stacy got first, but
Yeah,
there's two other people.
We have a lot of winners, but there were 3 top winners, right?
Yep. Did you want me to go through this, or are we just going to do that another time?
No, you go ahead and run through.
Everyone,
Tell
okay.
them who the top 3 are.
Okay, so the top 3, Stacy led the race. She got first place. And then we had Bridget Murphy. Yay!
Yay, Bridget.
And Marissa Cano. Yay!
Yay, Marissa.
So we had a total of 33 people, you guys, who are going to be.
Okay, so you guys that don't know, those 3 people are going to get like a full hour with Taylor.
Q&A.
Just 3 people.
Just them and Taylor.
For an hour with Taylor, which is going to be phenomenal. Now, the other ones, we're about to run the list down. You're going to be on a Zoom for probably 45 minutes with Taylor, where Taylor's going to probably be sharing information, maybe not time for Q&A, but sharing information. So run that list down.
So I'm sorry if I butcher your names. I really hate doing this, but unless you know that one, do you?
No.
Okay. Erin Robitaille, maybe? Of course, Bridget Murphy, Karen Woodruff, Rich Forbes, Cheryl Ray Gomez, Rhonda Klein, Tom Hageman, Bev Lansden, Evelyn Barth, Wendy Sheffield Rome. I've got the Facebook name on here. So Sue Piontek, Jane Rogers, Sweet Home Alabama. You know who you are.
Maria.
Elena Garcia, Vincent Horton is the way that it's listed in Facebook. Marisa, we already mentioned. Tracy Elizabeth Hale, Rosemary McAllister, Colette Cool, Meryl Fry, sorry. Jamie Seward, if I'm saying that right. Jenny Russick, Sue Brennan, Michelle, her last name's so hard, Kokuric.
Canada Michelle.
I know Michelle, but I can't say her last name. Okay. Kathy Ceruto, Gail Kimball, J. Lowe, Mandy Sr., Marcy Garms, Bob Halla, Graham Gonzalez, Gladys Gonzalez Perez, Sharon Dockery. So
fantastic,
kudos
guys.
to you for participating. That's all you had to do was participate.
And all those people that we just named, I would love for you to message us, and we want to know some more of these stories. We want to know the results of sampling NAD and how we're going to leverage that. In fact, I need you. Those people that we just listed, I need you for a Zoom that we're going to do possibly on the 13th of this month, which is next week?
That's next week.
Next week. Possibly the 13th. Look for that. We are planning a strategic Zoom for NAD education for current customers and potential customers. So it's going to be a Zoom that you're going to want to invite all the people from your list, all the people that you sampled, all those people. You're going to be able to leverage that list again and go back and contact them and say, hey, you need to be on this. We're planning on having doctors, scientists, athletes, and average everyday people on there talking about NAD, their personal stories, the sophisticated reasons why we should be taking NAD. Guys, this stuff, I don't know. I was going to say something that I know is not compliant, but
good catch.
Let's just say this. If you reduce calories, they say you live longer. And our product, you don't have to reduce calories. You insert the rest. Was that compliant?
Probably not.
So,
it's hard to say much of anything that we would like to say, but.
And we talked about that on the virtual workshop this past Saturday, what you can say and can't say. I hope you guys watch the virtual training this past weekend. Hopefully with your teams. If not, it's on the Team True Blue YouTube channel. Go there and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I know some of you are subscribed because 67 people watched it on Friday because that's when we posted it. And the training wasn't until Saturday, which I think is kind of cool.
Yep.
Anyway, because you're getting that immediately as soon as we put content up. So be looking for that Zoom. We're going to be very strategic in November and December for product sales. We're going to make massive push in November and December to sell more product than we've ever sold before. And that is a tall order since we just came off the biggest month of revenue in our team in the last 4 or 5 years. So in order to top it, we're going to have to be like giddy up.
Well, and on that topic, you guys, at this time last month, we were getting our hands on some product, right? Which means
today was the day.
If you're looking at your numbers and your numbers are down, you might be going, what the heck, man? Why am I so far down right now? Well, it's because we all went into the store and bought all of the NAD that we could while we were in Long Beach. So don't let it stress you out. Just know that that's why there was a spike on that day. And then you counterbalance it, right? I mean, hopefully you took those products and went and sampled and are gaining customers from that process. But just know that that's why there was a spike at that time frame that you're not seeing at this moment in time.
Yep. And the higher the rank, the more you're probably down, because almost all of the team is probably in red this morning because Friday was the first.
Yes.
Friday was the first. And then we went through a weekend where no one, it's kind of crazy that even though we have such an amazing opportunity, so many people still treat the weekend like they do their jobs. I'm just saying that Lynette and I didn't do that. We didn't do that. Saturday was just another day. The sun came up. We had to put food in our bodies. We had to do the same things on Saturday and Sunday that we did during the week. It's just that our routines change. And in this profession, you shouldn't do that. You should treat this opportunity. Now, this is for the people who actually want to make money, this message that I'm delivering right now. If you just want to get your products for free, that is fantastic. And you can almost fall out of bed at this company and get your products for free. They're that good. They tell some people, sample some products, they're going to want it. And then when they buy products, you get a paycheck. It's really that simple. But for my people out there that want to really they want to go to Universal Studios on a Monday, those type people with their family, you can't treat Saturday and Sunday like the rest of the world treats Saturday and Sunday, unless you want what the rest of the world has. If you want what they have, then you can do what they do. But if you don't want what they have, which is, then you can't do that. Whatever they're doing on Saturday, Sunday, you can do something different.
Well, the reality is most people are working their regular jobs during the week, which means that leaves them just a little bit of time on lunch breaks or after they get off of work to build their LifeVantage business. So you almost have to take advantage of the weekend if you're going to build this side hustle into something bigger. So
yeah, that's a good point. Weekend's prime time.
It is.
Like weekend is prime time to get after LifeVantage in this opportunity. But we know by looking at the numbers, most don't do that. And that's okay. That's okay. But some of you want more and you just can't do what other people did if you want more. So anyway, we're working hard for strategy this month. Look for that Zoom. I've circled Wednesday the 13th as the best day because strategically that gives us time to get customers signed in before the end of the month. Because here's the deal. Thanksgiving is November 28th. And that only leaves us 2 more days to close the month out.
We may have to adjust that 13th potentially, just so you know. Maybe
I'm sure that's why I didn't say here's the link, because
just know that around that time.
I know what's happening the day after. We go to California, right? Or Arizona, or the elite retreat.
We go on the 13th.
We go on Wednesday. Oh, we do go on Wednesday. That's right.
So we may have to adjust that a little.
Okay, that's right. My bad. Probably not happening on the 13th, just saying. Anyway, back to the close of the month. November 28th, Thanksgiving on a Thursday. Then the company usually does a Black Friday type thing.
Historically, there's always a Black Friday.
Since Darren showed up, he's like, why aren't we doing stuff on this Friday like the rest of the retail world? Right. And so pretty much put in your calendar, it's coming. We'll get more details as the company gives more details, but just know that Friday, if you value this opportunity and you want to be in the green at the end of the month, you might want to circle that Friday as a day that you want to really push some time aside for your LifeVantage business.
Well, and it's also just good as we start into these holiday months, you guys, you have to kind of get your mindset around the fact that a lot of people shut down everything on different holidays in November and December. And so with that in mind, you have to maybe work a little bit more earlier in the month, especially if you're working to maintain rank. A lot of rank advancements happened last month. So you want to maintain rank. Don't let the holiday season catch you by surprise and go, man, it wasn't even on my radar that there may or may not be volume coming in on these particular days. Plan in advance for that. Start strategizing now mentally, because that's where it's at. Expectation. It's all about expectation, right? So if you already have your mind there, then it won't sneak up on you. You can start planning out how you intend your schedule to look and how you're going to take advantage of the Black Friday sales that the company typically does. But it all begins right here with the strategy in mind as you look at the month ahead. And
I'm just thinking, I want to do something cool for anybody that can go green in November. We just did this with Taylor Worry for our October incentive. But I think if you can go green in November, you deserve something pretty cool, because it's going to be a challenge based on what just happened last month.
That's awesome.
But I think you guys can do it. Here's how I know you can do it. If you're a Pro 6, Pro 7, Pro 8, you may think, wow, this is overwhelming. But if you're a Pro 1 or Pro 2, it's not so hard to have a bigger month. If you're a Pro 1, that means you had $1,000 in organizational volume. To go to Pro 2, you're literally talking about 2 platinum pack enrollments.
It's that trickle down effect, right? If everybody has that mindset, the compound effect of that is that everybody's green.
That's my point, is if you want to go green, it starts with the newest people in your organization, helping them get excited, helping them get their belief wrapped around this. We hope to help you a little bit with some NAD education this month, but you help them first. Go make sure they're getting the links, watching the stuff that Dr. Brian has already done, Dixon, with the company, educating yourself on what this is, educating yourself on this compensation plan that we have, and some of the cool things the company has put out. Don't forget, right now, you are able to double down on points from the influencer program. Right now, they're giving you points for Cancun, and they're giving you points for the influencer program for next year. Guys, double down right now, because you're basically getting double points. And that influencer program is based on 2 activities: you enrolling customers, you enrolling distributors. It's that simple. Everything else kind of falls in place. The Pro 3 creation, but that influencer program is something you need to be telling your teams about and working towards, because it's here to stay with the company. It's the foundational rank. Pro 3 is the foundational rank, and you should be looking at that. So I think that covers our call for the day.
I believe so.
It's been awesome. Glad to share this with you guys. We got a new month, new beginnings. Let's go have a great time sharing this LifeVantage opportunity, guys. And we want those stories on the NA Days. So hit us up. Talk to y'all later.